What's good, everybody? I'm BPC, and welcome to Competitive Origins MMA. Now, will the rivalry between the Notorious Conor McGregor and the Eagle Khabib Nurmagomedov ever be over? See, Dustin Poirier TKO'd Conor McGregor in the second round of UFC 257, with Conor suffering a loss and Khabib basically stating that if, he isn't impressed, that he was basically going to stay retired. Well, he apparently is staying retired, and, Conor didn't get the victory, so therefore you would think, that would be the end of these two. But Khabib couldn't resist the opportunity to send out a tweet in which he stated, "This is what happened when you change your team. Leave the sparring partners who made you a champion and sparring with little kids far from reality." Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not judging Khabib Nurmagomedov by any means. We all know that if Khabib had suffered a loss, Conor would have started up a Twitter storm, talking about how Khabib is 29-1, how he's not the GOAT, how he's not number one in the pound for pound, how he's no good, how he's chicken, how he's scared. He would just go off and just go on a rant and a rant and a rant. So, it was only fair that Khabib beat him to it because Conor got the loss before Khabib got the loss. Now, I'm quite sure that, after he finished that Twitter storm, Conor probably would have went back to Competitive Origins MMA and watched more of the lovely videos because he obviously subscribes to it. And if you don't, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and ground and pound the like button on this video, please. Now, moving from there, Conor McGregor at the post-fight press conference was told about Khabib's comments. And it seemed like we got the new Conor's response at first. He was very, relaxed and calm and, kind of like humbled in his, response. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like this brash character individual anymore. But then, as it continued on, we started to see maybe that spark, maybe that fire that Conor McGregor needs. And you saw him, it's like, oh, those seem like fighting words, does he want to come back? Does he want to come back? So it seemed like it might have sparked him a little bit. And, if we saw that Conor McGregor against Dustin Poirier, we might have had a different result. Now, Javier Mendez, the longtime coach of Khabib Nurmagomedov, has basically elaborated on what Khabib had tweeted about. And basically, he said that, at the end of the day, Conor was in Portugal. Why was he in Portugal, training instead of in Dublin, where he normally trains at? He said basically it wasn't a regular situation. He didn't see the same group of people around him that he normally sees. So just based on what he was able to see from afar, he agrees with Khabib's statements as to, what he did. He's basically saying, like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? He said Conor had a successful situation going, so why would you change that? That's a big no-no. Now, from there, apparently from what Conor had talked about, he did say that, his conditioning, his nutrition, his training was all done in Portugal. He was there for a long period of time. He actually stayed there longer than he was expecting to be, but this was to shape his body into the way that he wanted to be. Now, I believe the McGregor Fast program is based in Portugal, or it originated there, or the people that were helping him with that are from there. So maybe that's why he went to the source to get some assistance with this. This is what I'm reading. It's not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate, but I'm just repeating what I've read. Now from there, he did leave that location and go to another location to finish off his training. But, at the end of the day, Khabib and Javier are basically talking about his time in Portugal and the people that he was around. And that's what they're basically, discussing. Now, also in Portugal, though, he did have John Kavanagh, who is his head coach, and he did have his striking coach, Owen Roddy. So he still had his main coaches. He just had additional people. As far as the striking individuals are concerned, though, that I'm not quite sure on. Now, Javier Mendez didn't stop there. He continued it on, basically stating that, Khabib would smash Conor. Basically that, since they fought 2 years ago, Khabib has grown and increased his skill set and is just more dominant. And that was apparent against Justin Gaethje. It didn't take him very long for him to basically take him out. You know, and if you look at Conor, you know, Conor's, you know, since the last 2 years, yes, he looked great against, you know, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, but when faced against a top 5 opponent like Dustin Poirier, you know, it seemed like he crumbled, or at least that's what Javier is alluding to, that he just didn't get any better, you know. But Khabib, he's facing these top 5 opponents, and he seems to be finishing them off quicker and quicker. You know, he finished off Conor in 4 rounds, and then he finished off Dustin Poirier in 3 rounds, and then he finished off Justin Gaethje in 2 rounds. So it seems like he's getting better and better based on his performances. And of course, as the champion, he's facing, you know, the #1 contender. So that looks great that he's able to finish these people in such great fashion. Now, he also mentioned that, you know, if Conor got that impressive victory, that the rematch still, you know, might have not have taken place. He said that Khabib still needs the permission for from his mother, so therefore that wasn't even a guarantee at all. So it's not like we necessarily missed out on anything. Go into the comment section below. Let me know what you think about Khabib's comments on Conor McGregor and his choice of training partners and his location, and also what Javier Mendez elaborated on. You know, do you agree what he was saying? And what do you think about Javier's comments that, you know, Khabib has gotten better while Conor has gotten worse? You know, those are really interesting statements. And if Conor had done or had gotten an impressive victory against, you know, Dustin Poirier, do you think Khabib would have actually came back? Or do you think Javier was kind of right when he said that, you know, it probably wouldn't have happened because he would have had to get his permission or gotten permission from his mother? Go to competitiveorigins.com, type in promo code MMA68 so you can get 10% off this Competitive Origins no matter what t-shirt. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. I'm BPC, and remember, you've been competing since conception. Whether you're competing against yourself or others, Competitive Origins.